Oh, I guess I'm recording here. Good morning, or afternoon, or evening. It's actually right around noon. Today, this is Grumpy, and I am going to be taking the rear wheel off of my V Star 950. And I've watched a lot of videos online, but nobody seems to have the same setup I do. This is a 2012 V Star 950, and it is a belt drive and disc brakes. Not many modifications to this, but first of all, we're going to be getting some good close-up shots of how things go to make sure that I have things properly set. And look how the finished product is. I'm not sure if I'll take this off, but I probably will, because it looks like it's just a couple of easy bolts. I did put a Rush exhaust on here. It sounds awesome. I've got the quieter of the two options on here. When I put the wheel back on, the slip-on might be off, because I'm getting a little bit of bluing in here from probably from our long distance trips. I almost wish I would have bought the touring model, but I love this one. 50 miles to the gallon on gasoline with me and my lady, and it's really good. But we need to, I know the adjusters will have come in place, that and the brakes are on the bottom side, and I see that we'll have to be taking care of that. I did get a motorcycle lift on here. I just bought it at Harbor Freight. Hopefully everything is going to go good. I had some questions on it, but it seems to be mounted in the proper place. I just barely have it off the ground, and we will be checking it out in a couple of minutes. I'm going to be enjoying a good tire on here. As you can see, this one is spent on here, so I don't mind riding in the rain, but I don't want to do it on a ball tire. Okay, even on the stock exhaust, I took it off. Took my slip-on off. You've got 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3. Even on the stock exhaust, it's there. I took it off. I pre-loosened the other, setting this down on some carpeting, and we're going to take this off. I did not I pre-loosened that. The axle, it's done. Now, one of the things I learned over time is do not tap the axle itself. So we tap that, loosen it up. That's not flaring it out at all, and we'll do that. I still have to do the brake system, and I'll show you that in a couple seconds. All right, so we did take the guard off from here, over the belt, and I'm putting it back a little bit. This bolt here, you don't need to do, because as I discovered, it's just holding a piece on the backside to strengthen the guard. So I put the bolts back in. The underside one I have loosened, but I am not planning on taking that off. I don't think it's necessary, but I took it off. You can see my wear from, I tried putting some non-factory leather or hard saddlebags on, and I thought I had them secured decently as best as I could, going from YouTube videos, but it didn't work. I wore out the plastic on here. I'll do some cleaning on here, maybe not much. It's not important to me. It's mainly the inside of the guard. So it wore that down, and we'll take care of it later. But I'm going to plan on pulling the shaft out, make sure it's greased. I'm sorry, the shaft out, make sure it's greased, and see if I can get the wheel off this way here. I might need to jack the motorcycle up a little bit more, but we'll find out. Okay, so I stepped away and got a bungee cord. I'm going to take the brake calipers off, and I had already pre-loosened them. It is a size 13, I believe. And oops. I don't know if that's a better view. So my brake pads are still on there. I'll pull those out. I want to put these back in the slides. I like putting things back where I can. And then we're going to bungee cord. You can see this. We're going to just bungee cord this up. And right there's what I did. I just ran it from there up around the wheel foot peg and in there. That stops it from sagging and falling. And I'll get my brake pads out. And examine them. There's plenty of meat left on them. Plenty of meat left on both of them. And that one was the inside, this was the outside. It looks like the outside has a little bit more rounded on the bottom than the other. I'm gonna compare them top to bottom. It looks like they're vice versa, so I can see which one the piston was on, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. We'll set this off to the side, and we'll take this out. We're going to smack it. And it looks like it'll slide right out. I've got the markings. Without doing any adjusting, it looks like it'll come out real nice and easy that way. So we're just going to set this down, and I can see here because I'm just tapping it, it's not hurting it too bad. This here is my Kmart tool set from when I was a teenager. I doubt if the sockets are from that set. It came with a lifetime guarantee. I replaced it a couple of times throughout time, but we're and it's coming out over here. So let's see what I can do. If I'm wrong, I have some adjusting to do, but I'll my adjuster came out, so out of the backside, so I don't know if this one's gonna come out as soon as I take the axle out, but it's all preset. I'm not touching it, and we're good there. We're gonna take this axle out, and the tire should go forward a little bit. I don't see any resistance on this side anymore, and or on the right hand side, so we're going to just work on taking that out and see what I can do. I'll try to it's not greased very well. It's got a little grease on there, I guess, from the factory, but from what I understand, they like to come out. So I'm gonna just I've got some shims here, I see, also right in there. I can't quite, I don't have any light, but unless I need to. But mailman's coming. I'm gonna go grab the mail. Hello, we're back. I cleaned my hands and I put some rubber gloves on. We're going to do stuff, and I'm gonna get dirty, and I'm gonna try not to. So that's still not coming out like that. I'm gonna tap it in more from the other side, and we'll see how it goes for that. I'll tap it in more. Okay, now I'm going to brace for, oh, look at that, I already ripped my glove. Here's the spacer from the other side. Should be able to see that. The dirty side went out, and we'll make sure of that. And there's my brake that went through, the axle went through, so we can do that, no problem. And it shouldn't be too much more to get that out. Let me actually lower the jack down. I thought I was going to need to get it up, but maybe not for this application. So I'll lower it down gently, as it says in the instructions. Holding on to the motorcycle, and oh, I can't do it because it's got the locks there. Now I can do it gently. Okay, lowered it down gently. let's see if I can pull this out now. We'll lower it down a little bit more. Pulling onto the motorcycle. That should have taken all the most of the weight off the axle. Let's see if it how it comes out, and it is. And I don't know if you can see that. So that came out real nice. Here's the spacer. Came out of here. I'm gonna leave that in there for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna roll the wheel out there, and now I can jack it up and get the wheel out nicely. Taking onto the motorcycle for security. Okay, let's see if that's enough to get it out this way here, and it is not yet, so I will jack it up a little more. I did one more pump. Let's see. It is a little tricky, and I'm gonna pull this here adjuster out. Again, we'll put the inside, and so we have the tire out. My next step is I'm going to lower it down for security and balance, as my tire is doing a little there. I'm gonna and there you have it. The tire is out. I don't know if I'm gonna, I guess I need to take that off. The belt drive, I don't know how far the tire company wants me to mount and balance. I don't know how much they want me to take it apart. Okay, we're back on here. I'm gonna leave the belt drive thing on, but examining the tire, my rotor looks good. However, I've got some cracks in my tire. I'm glad I'm doing it now. I don't see any cords left, but there's not much tread. These new tires are gummy to grip the road. My tires on my last motorcycle that I had for 40 years, I still had the original tire on the back with 20,000 miles on it. I plan on putting more miles on this one. All right, I got the tire back from the shop. I cleaned it up, shined up the sidewalls, never shine the tread on the tires. And what I did is I put some grease in here. You can see I've got that in there. I'll put the rest in there, the other side, in a minute. But I did not grease this side yet. I'm going to grease this side here. Add some grease into the shaft. Make sure that it'll nicely rotate around. I want to continue to get the great mileage. Right there is the code 28th week of 20 the tire was made. The K555 is a different than what came from the factory. I don't know if this is a good one. When I did the thing, when I looked up the size in this tire, it looks like it was from the 80s on Hondas and other ones, but the people at the motorcycle shop supply house said that they changed their they changed their manufacturing process, so it's got the better components. I don't know if I believe that or not, but we'll find out. The original one was not this Dunlop 555 K555. It was something else, but we're going to be getting it greased up, getting it back in place, and turn it back on in a minute. All right, so I have the tire all prettied up. I'm ready to remount it. I put bearing grease in there. I just used my grease gun like that, squirted it on the other areas, worked it in. It's a little more expensive way of doing it, but I wasn't going to run and buy a tub or look in my storage unit to see if I had a tub. So we're going to pretty much do this just backwards of what we did before. We're going to jack up the tire, the motorcycle. I'm going to hang on to it like I said, and did you hear the clicks of the jack, the supports? Okay, you can see it's a little tricky. It's a little wobbly. Be very, very careful. And I'm just going to put the tire in here, hopefully without knocking it over. And I'm going to put the belt around from this side. Oh, and there went my seal. Okay, so I've got that. Again, I'm going to hold the bike and let it down. I don't like I get to there. Let it down slowly, and we did that. I'm going to move the camera over to this side here, and this goes in facing out. We didn't hit the adjustment, so that is a nice thing. And we are gonna put a little bit more lube in here. And there. And I guess maybe I should learn how to fast forward this puppy, because that's what I need to do. And we're going to work right this through, and we're going to do that. I'm going to shut it off until I get it done, because you know what I got to do. All right, we're pulling the axle out again, because on this side here, the brake hardware, this here slides into here, and I cannot get it without taking the wheel back off. So don't forget to put this on before you put your wheel back on. This spacer here goes on the outside like that, between the frame there, and then this goes inside. This is my washer and stuff for the coming in here. So we're just about done. I got to put the brake pads back in also, but I've got to get this back on into there. So I've got to take the wheel off again and put it in. Learn by my mistakes. Okay, so we've got it in. We've got the axle tapped in, and I had to push with this foot and pull with that to get the alignment on there. I had my lady friend to help me with the strong arm of the swinging of the hammer. It's not overdone. We've got the bushings inside there, here, and those there. You can see the grease. So I think, I don't know, I will wipe that down before I do the torquing of the axle on there. I still have the brakes to do, and there's the pads. They're in good shape. I'm going to polish up my slip-on exhaust before I put it on, and boy, the tire looks a lot nicer already. I'm just expecting some good times with it. So see you shortly. All right, so here we are installing the brakes. The meat goes in, and that slid in. I did disconnect the I did undo my bungee a little early, but we're not doing anything bad. going to make sure we don't get those full of dirt. The slides, there's grease on them. You could put a little more on there, or you could leave it like I did. On cars, they go 100,000 miles, 80,000 miles. We're at 8,000 miles, so there's plenty of room left in that. And then we're just going to wrong wrench. Is it the 12? It's the 12. And we'll continue screwing it in a little bit and then tighten it. All right, so we've got the tire completely done, and it seems to be rotating just fine. So there's that. I'm going to clean up my exhaust, put it back on again. I don't know if you can see this, but 2 screws here, or 2 bolts, and here. I'm going to clean up the shoe melting onto the exhaust before I put it back on. Everything, and then I have also got the guard over here, which is just this Allen screwed right here, wrench there. We'll put that on there. Again, if you undo the bottom bolt, or the first bolt here up there, it's going to the nut is going to fall out. The other ones have the nut welded right on to there. So happy cycling. I saved myself a ton, and I hope I helped at least one other person. And shame on you, Matthew Koski, for doing what you did.
All right, so I got the brakes all assembled properly. I got the 2 bolts here and the collar here done for the exhaust. I cleaned it up a little bit. I didn't get it 100%. I got the I made sure I snug that up. I did not torque it. You will be double checking it in time. I got the belt covers. I got those upper and lower. I cleaned them and put some of that wet look on there. I screwed the seats down. I don't know if you can see up in there. 2 number 10s, I believe they are. I have that in there properly. The old owner did not do that. I have to put my front seat on, and that snaps on just like that. And then I can pull my tools off, make sure my kickstand is down. My kickstand is down, and that is up. So I'm gonna hold the motorcycle, release the pressure, and the brake, and there we have it. I am sliding out the gas. That's still dirty underneath there. That's